We are back. Welcome back to Jedi Mike 7 Movie News YouTube channel. I'm your host, Jedi Mike 7, here with Jay King, and we're here to review the entire season of The Penguin. Yes, which might be one of the greatest comic book shows on television by far to date. Yes. No, I'm talking about now the Smallvilles and your Arrows and all your Legend of Tomorrows and all your Flashes. And then that Flash one hurts me a little bit, but I gotta be honest, Um, yeah. And your Peacemakers too. Yeah, but yeah, you can get it too. Yes. This show is nothing but a masterpiece. And I was very surprised how each episode week by week gave me not an appetizer, not and dessert, even though some of it was sweet. They gave me an entree. And I mean like a big, meat and potatoes. They gave me meat. They gave me a lot of material as a fan or as a viewer watching and deconstructing all these characters. And honestly, shout out to Matt Reeves, shout out to this entire team, because this is literally textbook of how you create three-dimensional characters, and I am in many different circumstances of dissecting these layers of these characters, but at the same time being true to who they are and not shifting away from who these characters are. And so I think that's the one of the strongest things is that we're understanding why these characters do what they're doing. And sometimes they just might be sick or it might be come from a place of trauma. Many times it might be both, but yeah, what was just your thoughts on this entire season? Again, all spoiler of all 8 episodes now from HBO.
Yeah, no, this show 100 this is just a masterclass in storytelling. The Penguin is all 9 episodes have you hooked. It has you sitting on the edge of your seat with the story of Oswald Cobblepot, Sophia Falcone, the entire Falcone Maroni gang war and everything. Again, this is post the events of the Matt Reeves Batman movie. Gotham is basically transitioning into no man's land. You all know that story. And Oswald Cobblepot turning from this is the story of how Oswald Cobblepot went from Falcone's right hand to the Penguin we all know that he is. The Penguin you recognize from the comics, from the animated series, from the Arkham games. This is the Penguin, not just in face, but in personality and demeanor that and it goes through that journey throughout this entire season with so many freaking good characters. To by the end you feel satisfied, even if some of that satisfaction leaves you a bit mad. But
yeah, and I think probably one of the greatest endings of a show because it was so simple. It was so simple, yet so powerful. But the fact that now we're leading into the next film, which is the Batman Part 2, but to also get to a point where it beautifully, this entire show in an IP, in a character that's widely popular, but at the same time to simplistically focus on just one singular character, have his story play out, and give you enough story to a point that you're not even asking, hey, where's Batman? That's the big thing you would think of, keep asking, where's Batman? Where's Batman? In Gotham, in Gotham, the TV show on Fox, they give they keep giving you Easter eggs, stuff well, where's Batman? Where's Batman? Where's Batman? And stuff, right? This show, I'm like, all right, I know Batman's here, but I'm loving the story that I'm having here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, you don't after a while, maybe the first episode you think about it, but after a while you're just like, oh, okay. I mean, he's out there somewhere. Maybe he's very late to the party. Maybe he's very late to getting to some of these scenes. and we just don't see it. Like, we see other characters from the Batman movie, like the current commissioner of Gotham or the mayor elect. But like all of this feels self-contained in its own right, even though other shit is going on in the background and the other characters from the movie are dealing with their own stuff. It tells its own story. It's basically like, how do I explain this? It's basically how you have a lot of characters. Like, Batman is one of the most popular characters of all time, and his rogues gallery and Bat family are some of the most popular, to the fact that multiple stories can go on in the comics in Gotham with these characters, and sometimes some interloping just doesn't happen until rare moments. And this is one of those moments where it's like, this is the Penguin story. Yes, Batman is still out there. He's out there, and he will eventually have to fight him. Who knows? Maybe he'll definitely fight him in the sequel, but you're not worried about, like, oh, where's Bruce Wayne? Where's the Batman? We ain't hear no hints of it. Oh, we hear about Selina at the end, but it's like, where's Bruce at? Like, none of that. The only instance of the Batman is this scene right here, which is the final shots showing the bat signal being lit up to say, it's almost in a sense saying to be continued in the Batman Part 2. It's one of those moments. But you're not thinking that.
It was so beautiful just in terms of how they establish, how that it's not just, Oz is just now a person that just hasn't got his due in the spotlight and everything, stuff, from being poor now, and now to the riches, right? No, it's like this person is sick. This is a twisted individual. Also, not you want to talk about mental illness, whatever, or just really just by choice, because he's seeking validation. He doesn't talk about he needs family. He's seeking validation, but in terms of the way that he seeks his validation is so twisted and so dark, and it makes it beautiful in terms of how it ends. And also in terms of the other characters that they bring into. I want to talk about, again. We'll get into one of them, but in terms of female characters in this show, really the main one, which is Sophia Falcone, or Sophia, what's her last name? Gigante.
Gigante.
Yeah, Gigante. But yeah, this, first of all, Emmys. Just throw them at them.
Yes, please. Very much. This is very much award worthy.
Like, I mean, it's not even. It's not even funny. It's just like in terms of how good she is. Like, okay, think about it. A character that, again, we're trained as the audience to think, okay, it's Batman. I want Batman villains. All right, I want Joker. I want Scarecrow. I want Two-Face and all those other things. Big, tile characters, right? And it's like, no. Batman has a rich rogues gallery, and some of them that have not been, some of you have seen before, some of you haven't, but haven't been fully fleshed out in a particular way and gotten their due. And Sophia Falcone actually is a important part in the comics, especially in the Long Halloween, which is mostly adapted even in the first Matt Reeves Batman. But this here, they made her a very interesting, character. You even call it a villain or just I'll call a threat in Gotham. But yeah, you feel sympathy for her. You feel sympathy for her and what the system of Gotham, the brokenness of her family, of Falcone, done to his daughter and to his wife, her mother, and the people that he's hurt and he caused, but then how that changed her while she'd been locked in Arkham Asylum and everything, and what that does to people in power when you're being told that you're crazy. There's a lot of scenes where I just felt like, one, I felt relatable, to her, because of moments of, like, in your darkest times where people might not even believe you, believe that you're telling the truth and everything because of forces to play here of a bigger ball of deception, right? But they did this in a very unique way of just deconstructing her and special relationship with her brother, but also being very methodical too. Like, and yet every time we see a female character like that's might be not only has a sex appeal but also is very calculated in terms of what she does, we automatically think going to Harley Quinn. but I'm happy to see that we have a variety of characters. Like, no, she's not crazy. Yes, she can be dark, but is she insane? That's the question, right? And then also with the system that that turns her into that and stuff like that from trauma. Yeah, I just thought the way her character every time she's on screen, I just felt drawn to her. In terms of the writing of her character of Sophia. But yeah, what was your thoughts on Sophia though?
So Sophia, Sophia, as you said, is, I have to say, my favorite or my second favorite character of the show, just because of the there are multiple moments where it's like you just feel bad for her, but at the same time it's like it's almost similar in a sense to Oz, not fully, but similar in a sense of like you feel bad, but at the same time you're doing all of this insane, crazy, twisted shit, and you're like, I feel bad, but at the same time it's like I don't feel bad, and that's just, again, really good storytelling. I think with her, you feel a little bit more sympathy because it's like she would not be this way. She would not be, being called the hangman and having everybody turn on her if it literally was not for her father, like basically pushing her into the lion's den of all the bullshit that he did. If it wasn't for that, she would still be very much a good person. She had good morals. She had a bright future, a great relationship with her brother, a somewhat good relationship with Oz. And it just took that one moment of her being a little suspicious about what actually happened for her father to just... And so it's like, when it comes to that episode that fully explains all that, you 100% understand why she's doing this. You may not agree with all of it, but you understand why. You see how powerful she is, how good she looks doing it, and just the presence of her becomes, it's, I don't know how to explain it. It's just a really, really good character that you feel bad for, but at the same time, like, you can't condone some of the actions that she does, because it's like, that's a little too far. Like, I get it. The system failed you. It really failed you. But now the system basically turned her into what they called her. And somehow she even came out worse.
Yeah. Yeah. Cause even like the scene where like she deleted her entire family, but in the most like sinister way possible, and not knowing what she also created, in that little girl. Her, I guess her nephew or niece, or whatever, or cousin, I think cousin probably, but yeah, it was just like it, again, what the circumstances that she was put into, right? Whether that was she chose to or not. But at the same time, Oswald was always there, as a driver, but still, pulling the strings. I mean, he was the sole reason of getting her to the point of Arkham Asylum, because he told her father what happened, and lying to her about that, right? Yeah, but then how to end it be so beautifully, where all her family's been stripped away, her brother, which is the biggest thing, someone that she thought that was the only one that was rooting for her, right? And only to at the very end, and then I was like to say, oh yeah, you got a letter. It's from your half sister Selena Kyle. And I was like, okay. And then it's like, all right, I was calling like, oh wait, is there ever gonna see? First of all, good in casting, by the way. Because you can tell, like, okay, this could probably look like they're related to Zoe Kravitz in some form or capacity. But I thought that, I was like, good casting. But with the fact of like when we're going through the show, I was like, yeah, I'm like, wait, okay, I know that Sophia, they had like Catwoman was also their sister, but even in Long Halloween, they really didn't go, dive into that, of like, hey, you have a sister. What does that gonna entail? Like that's the I'm just saying, like, I don't have no clue. And then the fact that when she read that letter, she smiled, like, again, like, I don't know who this woman is, but why am I'm smiling that family is that member actually acknowledging me, but also has some form of relatability, who's also a woman. Like, like that's the thing, like that's also a woman that experienced, a similar situation with her for almost verbatim, like, oh yeah, my mom was murdered by your dad too. Like, it's just
Mm-hmm.
it's but then also at the perfect time for them to reconnect, in a cinematic level. I was just like, it was perfect. It was perfect,
Yeah.
because I was like, okay, what's left? I'm like, and then the fact that Oz didn't kill her, this thing, she actually also wanted, you can tell she wanted to, death. Like she was like, oh, this will be in my story. I'm okay with that. She wasn't, begging for her life. But then the fact of like, no, 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 I'm gonna give it to you worse. I'm gonna take you back to one of your darkest places that you ever had in your entire life, which is Arkham,
Mm-hmm.
right? And that's worse, the
Yeah.
yeah, that makes it more dark with that. But yeah, what was your thoughts on that?
Yeah, no, I have to agree. It's just like the connectivity when it comes to what we know about these characters from the comics and then what was already presented both within the Batman movie and the show. I really like. I'll say I'm kind of upset. Like they say, like, oh, the letters from Selena Kyle. I'm like, oh shit! And I was expecting either her to read it or to hear like Zoe Kravitz's voice, like voicing the letter to hear what it
Yeah. Oh
says.
no,
I
no, no,
like
no. They're not gonna give you that. They're not gonna give you that.
I was like, come on, man. But I've been like, hey, I'm glad that they made that connection. I'm glad that they made that apparent to people who maybe don't realize, like, oh yeah, this is Selena's half sister. This is Catwoman's half sister. And it's like, oh, what does that mean? Does that mean Selena might potentially try to break her out of jail? We both got so much in common. Let me get you out of there. You can become your own kind of like vigilante and stuff like that. What is she gonna do? I guess we'll see in the Batman too. But
You're
it's just
like,
like
it's like I don't. There's no comic basis of that, at
there
all.
isn't.
Like of her like having like interacting with Sophia like that. But then just like,
Like,
but in the world that you created, it makes perfect sense for them to,
mhm.
you know.
like comic wise, like Sophia was just in the Long Halloween and the Long Halloween sequel. Like, sorry, Sophia was in the Long Halloween and the Long Halloween sequel. And from what I remember, there wasn't that much connection in the animated version of it from the Tomorrowverse. There was a small moment between the two, but that was really it. So it's like here you get that chance to elevate that and create your own mythos. Again, it's like, yes, there are moments where it's like it's okay to diverge from the comics and make your own stuff, even if it's not from there. Making something original, if it suits the story, is 100% fine by me, even if it's not what originally happened. I don't. I'm a comic guy, but I don't care all the time if everything is shown because I want them to tell their own story to make it to make it just as original as the original comic run. So it's like giving that connection and giving us the tease that hey, Sophia could be back in the next Batman movie. Selena could break her out and try and form a sisterly bond with her, which, of course, for everybody who knows Selena in the comics, she likes to have those sisterly bonds with someone. So it's like the tease of that makes you excited, and it's like, we need that Batman 2 release date. We need to know when production starts. It makes you more excited.
Yeah, and also worth the wait, which is like, yeah, if I wait till 2026, it's okay, it's okay, But but also we again to the other supporting character Vic. Now Vic, now I know the actor, we see him in Runaways and stuff, but I was happy that this dude was able to get
Mm-hmm.
in terms of his props with this show. Could
Yeah.
definitely now there was also a lot of parallel to this character Vic with like, okay, this is a Batman world, but not Batman character, but it was definitely giving vibes of Jason Todd.
Oh, very much. Like
Like,
literally a chance meeting by trying to steal the wheels off of the dude's ride. He's basically Penguin's Jason. Even if we do get Jason in the future, he's basically Penguin's Jason.
yeah, and yeah, so I was like happy to see for him to get his due with this show, but just the arc of for him, basically how he started from meeting Oz to where everything ended is also just showing going to, I think there was like an old tale about like I forgot, I was talking to Lucas about this like when we're on the group chat that we're in. He was talking about people that being too nice or being graceful, you be careful because not just saying you're gonna get put in a position you be taken advantage of, but also the fact that you show all your cards on the table. Like if he shows everything that you can do, then yeah, then basically you're not gonna have nothing else for me to utilize you for. And then if you don't, and have show your fullest potential, then you become a threat because then it's like, what are you hiding, right? And so it was like with him, he's like the death sentence for him was saying you're my family, and it's like no, yeah. And as much as I agree with you that we built this bond, it's like okay, I have to end you now, and I think that to that point, everything he did that made it hurt because that emotional moment, hit so well was because as an audience you're watching like, oh, you thinking that Oz just want family. No, he had family. And then the fact that you see episode 7 to explain all that, like, no, he and led to the death of his brothers, from closing him, letting him drown, you know, uh, willing to put his mother through a vegetative state, but not, killing her, but to be like, oh, just getting his validation, and stuff. But no, no, he wants validation. He doesn't want say family. He knows the weakness, and he basically did what he needed to do. And he never switched up. He might have moments of panic. He might have moments of whatever, but like to the point that the position that he is now in Gotham, yes, he is a villain, and therefore, when someone thinking that the road is a road to hell is paved with your good intentions, like Vic only had the intentions of believing what Oz said. People are looking down at you. You want actually be on top. You should be having the silver downer plates and everything, and eating 5-star meals and all that stuff. You should be on top. These people don't look looking down and think you're nothing, think you're ants. And everybody can relate to that because Gotham is basically Detroit. That's basically what it's like given. Or also after times of tragedy. Like, look, it's episode 3. Now, during the time, it's when the hurricanes, like in taping of this, recording, the hurricanes were going down over here and down to Florida. And it was just like, obviously, I know this show didn't plan that, but the fact that you had his entire family get knocked out by that flood, only to like real world events to actually, make it even more hit stronger with that scene. I thought it was beautiful. But yeah. What was your thoughts on Vic and his entire journey and everything?
Look,
And
Vic,
justice for Vic, by the way. Justice for Vic.
Justice for Vic, man. That final moment made me so fucking mad. That moment right there made me so fucking mad. But yeah, he deserved better. It's like Vic throughout the entire show went from just some kid trying to get by after everything that happened in the Batman to basically becoming Oz, like not even like just you think for a while it's like, oh, because Oz wants someone by his side, family or like loyalty. He wants loyalty. He even says to himself, none of them guys out there ain't gonna give you like loyalty like I would, sort of deal. You think, okay, Vic is someone that humbles him, that centers him. He's there in his tough moments. He's the only one before Sophia and the Maronis found out that Oz's mother was alive. He was the only person that knew that. He was the only person that was out there making, helping him make sure his mother was okay. He was the one person that truly believed in him when the other gangs didn't. Like, Vic was just there. He was a ride or die for Oz. Sadly, Oz only heard the word die in that situation. But yeah, he was just someone who didn't flake on what he felt was correct and wanting to have a better life for himself. Because it's like he even expressed it before when we see his moment before the events of the Batman where Crown Point gets flooded. He wanted something better for himself and his family. His family just didn't really believe that. And then you got this guy right here who's basically preaching the stuff that you say that you want for yourself and for the people of your neighborhood. It's like he basically became what that one gangster was to Oz when he was younger. He became a symbol. He became like the Godfather in a sense. He basically became that. He became that for Vic. He became someone that Vic looked up to, could consider family, to the point where he was there for Oz when he was breaking down because he thought because Sophia had his mother. You're thinking, okay, Vic's gonna be fine. He's gonna be okay. He's gonna be, by the end, he's gonna be Oz's like right hand man. Running the Iceberg Lounge with him as he's taking over Gotham, fighting Batman. Nope.
Yeah, no. And like, I saw. I think this was the mindset of the Scorpion, the Frog, and there's a whole I think a poem or something about that, but basically saying that the Scorpion was trying to go across a pond or whatever, right? And the Frog's able to help the Scorpion by the Scorpion getting on the Frog's back, and the Frog's able to leap off, across the pond and get the Scorpion to the other side. But by the time it got to the other side, the Scorpion killed the Frog. Now, even though the Frog was able to help him, the Scorpion might have been happy that he got to the other side. He still killed the Frog because it was in his nature, right? That was still his nature, to be his primal instinct to do that. Now, I think also that reveals too of what's not just like people like narcissists, manipulators, liars. Like, what is their natural instinct? Even killers, or people that do harm on people, right? What is their was in their nature to do, right? Instead of the choices that are made might just been a product of their environment. But here, Oz, you clearly see it. He had a loving family, mom that loved him, brothers that were just family that was there. But no, all he just wanted was his mom to himself, and in a weirdly weird, sadistic way. Not in a Norman Bates style, which is what I was afraid of, but yeah, but
thank God it did not go there, but it got very fucking close.
The line was there, but think about it. There's also a line. It's a that does exist though. Like in terms of like of Mama's boys being kind of not sexualized, to the mothers, but in a sense of like you want someone that reminds you of your mother in the woman that you love, that you're having relations with and stuff. But yeah, I thought that was just a beautiful like journey to go through, especially the fact that the mother even going to at the end, like you thinking that she's just sick, dementia woman, even though she is, which in all mediums, the Penguin's mother was a very, very pivotal part, and they took this to a whole nother level. Even the Gotham show and everything, like his mother plays a pivotal part. But they did this in a unique way, even at the end of the episode, where not only that Sophia and the doctor was able to capture and everything, but she knew this whole time. She knew this whole time that he killed his brothers and everything, but she still played a lie because she hated him, But also there's also another thing, like that's still my son, but at the same time I know what he is, and so it's like it's still like nobody's perfect, you know what I mean? So nobody's on this and everything. The fact that she was trying to kill her son day one, but didn't, and what that do? And then basically the promise that he made is like she told him, "I do not want to be a vegetable," and then lo and behold, she became a vegetable. Like, that's like again, I don't know how dark you can go at that point, But yeah, what was your thoughts on his mother and this whole relationship?
Like that whole relationship was Jesus Christ. Like it's like you feel bad for her like throughout the entire show because it's like she's having those moments of like she's not remembering everything clearly, or she's not sure what's going to happen to her, especially when like she refuses to see it that way, or Oz refuses to see it that way. But then you just get the backstory of what actually happened, what caused her to go down that route. what Oz did to his brothers and what she almost did, almost let Rex, the gangster that Oz looked up to, end it real quick there. He would have if she didn't backtrack and be like, I'll deal with the devil here, that type of shit. And it's like, she was very much a strong character, even though what she feared most in the end would happen. It's like she didn't want like a whole luxurious life. That's what Oz thought that she deserved or wanted. She didn't want all of this. She didn't want to be a vegetable. And yet every single thing that Oz wanted for her and that she didn't want ended up happening by the end. She is now a vegetable and thus cannot do or say anything about what he has become and what he has brought upon herself, upon Vic, upon everybody. And now she has to watch from the giant ivory tower as he becomes the Penguin that we all know and hate. Even having the woman that Oz was sleeping with dressed like how she was in that was oh god, it's so fucked up. It's so fucked up. But it's like, bruh, like the storytelling is so good, but that was so fucked up. It was so goddamn fucked up.
And it took me a second to recognize her, and I was just like, wait, what's going on here? And I was like, oh no, that's her. But like, why she dressed like his mom? I was like, oh my gosh.
Oh, yeah.
I just
I said this after I finished watching that final episode. 10 out of 10 show, but fuck Oswald Cobblepot, that prick. Not just for Vic, but for his mother.
Yeah, because like after this show with Penguin specifically, especially after after he killed Vic, well, my whole reaction of this was,
I am sick. I am sick of your shit. And when I'm not sick, I'm tired. I am sick and tired.
Yeah. So, and but the whole moment, this took, at the end of the point, especially with Vic, my emotions were
emotional damage.
So yeah. But I think also there's a few things that you want to highlight. Also, the crime element of Gotham. I met Clancy Brown at San Diego Comic-Con, but he also played Salvatore Maroni. Did an amazing job on this show. But also just seeing the other crime bosses and how they also now follow the power. But there's a unique opportunity here. I don't know if you caught it at the courtroom scene. Did you notice the design on the walls? Do you not design? Okay, let me pull it up.
I remember how it looked, the courtroom when I was meant to go talk to that one judge. I remember how it looks, but I'm not catching specific. Hold on, let me look for myself.
No. I'll pull it up. You don't. Yeah, I'll pull it up. Right. So right here, I'm trying to find the right shot of it too.
Probably a wide shot, like either when he's going up there before the judge comes in or something like that.
Yeah, no, because there. Yeah, I was trying to check and see if you caught it here. Right here, boom, 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 and they highlighted it too. Do you know? Okay, so what is this the shape of?
Wait.
So
is that a fucking cat?
No, it's an owl.
Wait, that's a yes. I see where you're going. I see.
And you're in a courtroom.
The courtroom.
They're in a courtroom.
The courtroom.
They're in a courtroom. They're in a courtroom. Like right in your face. I was like,
you know
wait.
what they say? You know what they say? The Court of Owls is always watching.
Right. And I was just like, listen, I'm like, I was like, wait, I was like, and I was just checking to see just what's going on here. And I went back in the scene, and it was before I'm glad I caught it because I'm like, that looks like something, but I'm looking too much into it. And lo and behold, people were like, wait, no, listen, like, you're talking to one of the high execs, in Gotham, in a courtroom, and like, and they're all sitting like, I was like, that's not a mistake. That was not a mistake. Like, and all this right here, they drew it. Like, yeah.
Okay, so I guess we're going with the theory that either the judge or someone in that court is not just a part of Gotham's courts, but a part of the underground Court of Owls. I can dig that.
For a lot of people, even then, let's say if they have Court of Owls, and then you see Penguin, like at least he has a mask on, whatever, like he's a part of the group or whatever. But at least we know how you got there, But you're like, yeah. No, I'm just saying, but bro, it's like this thing. And I don't even know if they even have just let a series just be what it is, but like, no, they probably let that be a film, like for Quarter Owls. But I'm just like, the seeds that they're planting, the fact they brought in like Magpie, like like
that. Which I hope I hope she's not dead, but yeah.
Oh no, she dead. But like, like the point is like the fact that they're even thinking that, it's just like I know, like we're in Matt Reeves, like we're in good hands of this whole thing, and that's why I'm like I'm not even worried. My only thing I'm actually worried for really is with James Gunn, because like, all right, when you get to your Batman or the Batman that is the more or the I want to say the Batman proper to the connective DC universe, is like how do you gonna top this or make this different? It's like I don't like I'm just obviously you have a Batman that want to interact with the fantastical, and this is more grounded in crime. I understand that. But like it just the way they're doing here, I'm like, what? At the same time, really?
Right.
Like,
right.
like, yeah, I just don't know. I just like how this is gonna work. But Lopo, we'll just wait for it. But yeah, guys, the all 8 episodes of the Penguin is streaming now on HBO Max. Make sure you guys go check it out here. This is Jedi Mike and it's Jay King. And make sure you guys hit the subscribe button, comment, like, and share. We got more videos, interviews, and stuff coming up. In the fourth quarter, y'all. We're getting there. All right, guys. We'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.